Here we are on Clothesline, the show where we wring them clean, string them up and put them to dry on the clothesline. Before we begin, I'd like to start by thanking all of you who've subscribed to the I Pay to Keep News Free campaign. With every subscription, we're moving closer to our goal of making news a public service again. If you're thankful we didn't cut to another I Pay to Keep News Free video, then clearly you also believe in our aim to stay ad-free. So click here and subscribe. It's been a grim week for airlines this past fortnight. We had the Trans-Asia flight that crashed in Taiwan, the Air Algeria flight that crashed in Mali, and now an Indian Air Force chopper. But the one that dominated all the headlines was the MH17 tragedy. When the story broke in India, news houses were scrambling for coverage, and some of them jumped the gun, like NDTV's Vishnu Som, who thought he was cutting to a US government presser on the tragedy that in fact had nothing to do with the MH17 at all. Unsurprisingly, NDTV hasn't uploaded the video. Still, Vishnu's gaffe was nothing compared to what happened when MSNBC in the USA, in their eagerness to have an exclusive, did this.
MSNBC exclusive U.S. Staff Sergeant Michael Boyd is at the U.S. Embassy in Ukraine and says that he saw a missile in the air hit the plane. He is on the phone with us. Sergeant, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can. Please tell us what you saw there on the ground in Ukraine.
Well, I was looking out the window and I saw a projectile flying through the sky, and it would appear that the plane was shot down by a blast of wind from Howard Stern's ass.
So it would appear that the plane was shot down. Can you tell us anything more from your military training of what sort of missile system that may have been coming from?
Well, you're a dumbass, aren't you?
I'm sorry, sir?
That truly is an exclusive MSNBC. The problem with this race amongst news channels to be the fastest, sometimes it just blows up in your face. While MSNBC was relying on callers for their exclusive, other channels happen to have reporters on call in Ukraine for theirs. Still, there's only so much scope to stand out when everyone has access to the same thing. So in his quest to stand out, Colin Brazier of Sky News showed us that when it comes to stupidity and insensitivity, sky's the limit.
Here are, I think it's a small girl's bag, isn't it, by the looks of things. A set of keys, a toothbrush. I mean, it's we shouldn't really be doing this, I suppose, really.
You definitely shouldn't be going through that luggage. It's simply awful. It's in bad taste. It's disgusting. Moving from bad reporting to bad punctuation, on the 23rd of July, the Associated Press sparked off shock and horror when they tweeted this.
Breaking. Dutch military plane carrying bodies for Malaysia Airlines, Flight 17, crash lands in Eindhoven. Associated Press.
Punctuation, punctuation, punctuation. It's the difference between knowing your shit and knowing your shit. Indian channels, meanwhile, were relying on the footage of their foreign counterparts. But there was one exception. Heck, there's always one exception. Guess who? It doesn't take more than one guess. So Times Now was in Ukraine, and Times Now was near the crash site. But how near?
The problem is from going from Donetsk to the crash site, which is about 70 to 80 kilometers, and that area is completely controlled by the Ukrainian separatists.
Now we know why he's only near the crash site and not in it. He's scared. As many Indian grandfathers say, risk nahi lena chahiye. And this is a first, for me at least. Actually, when there's action, reporters are dying to be in the thick of it. Not Kashif though. He prefers to report from the corner outside his hotel. Ukraine kyun bheja? Mumbai ki Oberoi hotel ki bahari piece to camera kar leta. But knowing Mumbai's history, probably thought Ukraine was safer. Kashif, this is how you report from a crisis area.
We'd heard that the clashes had started again, so we headed back to the barricades.
Okay, so we're back at Hereshkovol, where clashes started a few hours ago. So we're going to head to the front barricades and see what's going on. There's the smoke smothering the air right now. So right now there's thousands of people just kind of watching, looking towards the police lines, waiting to see what happens. It looks like they're just ready for a fight. They're waiting for the police to push forward. And there's a building right next to that, apparently barricaded, and that's now on fire too.
But did Times Now care? No! As long as they get to flash that only Indian channel achievement, because Times Now is humble. And Prime Minister Modi gave Times Now a one-on-one lesson on humility at the recently concluded BRICS summit.
Times Now political editor Navika Kumar also tried to get in a word from Prime Minister Modi himself.
Modi ji, namaskar. कैसी रही यात्रा? पूरी टोली आई है सर. क्या expectations है सर Chinese से?
If Modi thought that might teach Times Now humility, he was wrong, dead wrong, because Times Now actually ran that footage as a promo, bragging about being the channel that got closest to Modi at BRICS. Closest, okay. We also got close, if that's what you call being pretty close. Times Now, your next promo should be just this.
I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. I'm the best. Yes, you are the best.
Talking of bragging, the Indian Express carried this front page story about the Shiv Sena MPs force-feeding a Maharashtra southern staffer. Listen up, guys. This story I'm talking about is not about the force-feeding. This story is about the Indian Express itself, that they were the first to cover this story. Listen, guys, nobody cares except for you and your mummies. Who was first? The rest of us were too busy being horrified at the behavior of these MPs. Then there was the judge appointment scandal, kicked up by everyone's favourite member of the Justice League, Justice Kajju, who raised the issue of political influence in the appointment of judges during the time of the UPA. Kajju's allegations kicked up a storm both in Parliament and news channels, so he appeared on NDTV's Left, Right and Centre to address the issue. But Nidhi Razdan and Kajju don't have the rosiest of relationships. Remember this?
You stop this. Nidhi, either you know how to behave like an anchor or you don't know how to behave like an anchor. I don't think you know how to behave like an anchor. And check.
No, Mr. Singh, I will
let Mr. program again. Sorry, I'm leaving your program and never appearing on your program.
Siddharth Bhatia, Siddharth, is it a relevant question or not? Because Justice Kajju is walking away, but you answer it.
Bring up this point. I think it's extraneous.
After swearing that he would never appear on Nidhi's show again, it was surprising that he did appear on her show again. What was not surprising was what happened.
It is relevant, sir, because it's a very serious issue. You have been a Supreme Court judge yourself.
No, I don't think so. I've answered you. No, I told you now. I'd warned you. Don't now persist in this.
Sir, I do have a job to ask you questions, and it is a valid question.
Right,
why you did not go public with this earlier?
I'm sorry, I'm discontinuing this interview. I told you, and I'm sorry, I'm discontinuing this. Sorry, I'm very sorry.
The soft-spoken Nidhi has managed something even Arnab hasn't. 2 walk-offs in 2 appearances. So how did Arnab deal with Nidhi stealing his USP? Arnab rounded up Soli Sorabji, Ram Jethmalani and Makande Kajju for the most polite debate in news hour history.
First of all, let me clear, I'm not attributing any ulterior motives to Justice Kajju.
Because Kajju has been a friend, though he may not acknowledge it. Many people don't acknowledge their friendship with me because it's very embarrassing for them. But I can tell you that I never doubted one word of what he had said.
The people are supreme, as Rousseau, the great philosopher, said. You are nothing as Attorney General, and Mr. Ram Jethmalani as a minister. You were nothing but a servant.
I entirely agree with Justice Kajju.
Arnab, what is this? You're losing it, and it's not just once.
Not create this.
Please don't. One member.
He just bring it up. He should be replied in a proper manner.
Mr. Shukla,
Mr. Shukla, one citizenship as far as I know, and one passport. That's it. So what are we discussing? Why are you talking about Sonia Gandhi's citizenship?
If he is wrong, he should be told specifically, categorically, and his party is doing that.
Lakshman has not apologized so far.
You are wrong.
He has not apologized so far.
1 minute, please. Can I please come into this? I don't want to raise my point is...
Arnab, you don't want to raise your voice? What's going on? Are we losing our Arnab, our Superman? Where's the Arnab who screams and shouts, take it back, and never, ever, where's all that? What are you becoming? A Prannoy? Or is it because everyone else has stolen your style? Or has Arnab been doing some yoga? And if Arnab was busy being someone else, one of Arnab's panelists tried being Arnab.
You better take that statement back, Mr. Gujral. Mr. Gujral, I request you very kindly take that statement back.
Because what I'm
saying is you're abusing this platform.
And you can't digest that.
No, 1 minute. I think you know the newsar is watched by many viewers. You're trying to exploit this platform. Arnab, I suggest you request him to take it back, as you have asked many people in newsar when they have said something offensive.
So finally he goes crying to mummy for help. We're actually starting to feel sorry for Sanjay. He shows up unfailingly, knowing that he's defenseless, in for abuse, pain and humiliation. Yet he does it anyway. Sanjay, with qualities like those, you should give up on politics and panel debates and audition for Jackass instead.
Oh, no.
Now that's where Sanjay belongs. Outrage in Karnataka over the lack of safety for women and children after a string of recent incidents reached a head. And Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah earned not our respect, but this week's fuckwah for not giving a fuck what goes on in his state, and particularly to the women and children. This is him during a state assembly discussion on rape, as headlines today showed us. Since he's such a sound sleeper, he did not notice how seriously everyone else was taking the issue, because this is what he had to say when questioned by the media on the situation.
No, I must get Bangalore? 60 rape. Is it the only news you're having?
No, not just that news. We also have news of you sleeping. And continuing the recent trend of politicians' sensitivity to women and children's issues, they have repeatedly found novel ways to surprise and offend everyone. So this week we decided to take a walk down bad memory lane and give fuckwahs to the most insensitive, distasteful comments related to women and rape from recent history.
Number 1.
Our first awardee is the Bihar Minister for Art and Culture, Vinay Bihari, who enlightens us that non-vegetarian food and mobile phones cause an increase in rape.
रेप की घटनाएं क्यों बढ़ रही हैं देश में? मैंने बताया उसके विषय में बहुत सारे कारण हैं, कोई एक कारण नहीं है। जैसे आप ये कारण मान लीजिए कि तामसी भोजन है, शराब जो है उसका सेवन बहुत लोग कर रहे हैं।
आजकल जितना मोबाइल नेट से जुड़ा हुआ है और जितने यंगस्टर बच्चे हैं सब ब्लू फिल्में देखते हैं उस पे, आप खोल करके देख लीजिए।
It truly is a vicious cycle, because with smartphones these days you can order non-vegetarian food. We're just waiting to see which rapist will use the chicken and mobile phones made me do it defense in court. Dude, what the fuck were you thinking? But maybe this statement was based on this, as CNN-IBN reports.
A House committee panel of the Karnataka Assembly has recommended that the state government ban mobile phones in schools and colleges. They are blaming cell phones for the rise in rape and molestation cases. Committee's chairperson and Congress MLA Shakuntala Shetty has said that students shouldn't be allowed to use their mobile phones till they turn 18 and attain maturity.
Did it ever occur to Shakuntala Shetty that a mobile phone is also a lifeline to call for help in cases like these? And these are the people deciding on our lives?
Number 2.
Our second fuckwah goes to Jitendra Chattar, who keeps Vinay Bihari company by also linking food to rape.
जैसे हम फास्ट फूड खाते हैं, शरीर के अंदर गर्मी बढ़ती है, गर्मी बढ़ने के कारण जो हार्मोन्स लेट अवस्था में शुरू होने चाहिए वो जल्दी अवस्था में शुरू हो जाते हैं। यही कारण है कि आज शरीर का असंतुलित विकास हो गया है।
We're not sure which is worse, his knowledge of nutrition, hormones, rape, common sense, or human decency. But even if he isn't winning any friends with his thinking, he's just won a fuckwah.
Number 3.
No less deserving than these two is our third fuckwah recipient, Chhattisgarh Home Minister Ram Sevak Paikra, who doesn't quite seem to grasp the concept of rape, as we saw on NDTV.
देखिए, घटनाओं को कोई जान के तो करता नहीं है। इस तरह का जो घटनाएं हैं, ये तो धोखे से सब करते हैं लोग।
Oh, of course. Hey, did you guys hear that story about the guy who slipped on a banana peel and accidentally raped a girl?
What?
Precisely. Rape is no accident, Mr. Paikra. The only accident we can see is getting you elected.
Number 4.
Fuckwah number 4 goes to Aziz Qureshi, the governor of Uttar Pradesh, for this.
Occurrence of rape cannot be stopped. Even Bhagwan bhi utar leke agar aaye, to shayad mumkin hai ruk jayega ki. Otherwise, wo crime pe control nahi ho sakta.
He's right. God probably has a lot on his plate. We just wish he'd take a little time off from everything else and maybe give Mr. Qureshi some brains.
Number 5.
And the 5th and last fuckwah of the night goes to all of us Indians. What the fuck were we thinking when we let idiots like these into positions of power? We thought we were done giving out fuckwahs, but then, in the search for a brand ambassador, Telangana MLAs V. Hanumanta of the Congress and K. Lakshman of the BJP earned one, though they'll have to share for this.
BJP leader K. Lakshman, their leader in the State Assembly, in fact, speaking to CNN IBN a short while ago, saying he's not going to apologize for saying that Sania Mirza is Pakistan's daughter-in-law.
At that time, the lady who has married a Pakistani person and you are making ambassador, the people will not appreciate.
While the entire idea of disowning her Indian heritage because of her Pakistani connection is in bad taste, we have a suggestion. If we absolutely must disown someone for their Pakistani connection, why not Manishankar Iyer rather than an athlete who actually brings accolades to the country? Speaking of athletes bringing accolades to the country, the Commonwealth Games began in Scotland, and the biggest scandal to rock these games has been the fact that the Indian flag was held upside down in the official video of the games. Yes, it was in poor taste, but if that's the price we have to pay for not hosting the event and going through the 2010 fiasco again, we are not complaining. While most channels were content just reporting on the Commonwealth Games happenings, Suman Ray of Headlines Today decided to do things a little differently.
Now my friend Sushil Kumar, the double Olympic medalist, is going to teach us what wrestling is all about. Also, I'm going to have a few rounds with him. Hopefully I will survive.
Full marks to Suman for enthusiasm. But that outfit? Full marks for getting into the story. But that outfit? You should have kept your pants on. What'll happen when he covers the women's swimming teams?
He'd wear the same outfit.
Of course. Still, it takes a lot of guts to step into the ring with India's wrestling team. So how did it go for him?
This is probably the most awkward position for any reporter, but I'm here. So that's complete chip. It's a complete defeat. But nevertheless, India has a very good chance at the Commonwealth Games because here it's just a glimpse what is stored in the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow.
That is why you do not piss your producer off. Here's a tip to Headlines Today. If you want to showcase the skills of our Indian wrestlers, pitting them against poor, out of shape, breathless, after just getting tossed around Suman Ray is not the way to do it. Then there's the Times of India's website, who got a sensational story but felt the need to jazz up their headline. The 13-year-old boy turned 14 in the time it took to write the headline and move on to the body of the story. Then there's the DNA website, who've done some strange things in the past, but not quite like this. The story was about the murder of a Manipuri man, and the image? Why? It's the poster of the upcoming Mary Com movie. The Israel-Palestine conflict has led to the loss of life and property on both sides, with Palestine being particularly badly hit. But BBC chose to go with this sticker instead. On one side you have hundreds dead. On the other, you have a twisted ankle. Sounds like a pretty even battle. Maybe if you want to garner more sympathy for Israel, you could do a documentary on an Israeli soldier with an upset stomach. We still need to know, who twisted his ankle? Hamas? Well, that's a wrap for the week. A special thanks to Megha Sharma, who started an avalanche of comments on my makeup. And I like that because I need advice. Thank you, Megha. If you have any moments from journalism that made you go, oh wow or oh crap, write into us or tweet to us. Subscribe to our newsletter and support, please support, our I Pay to Keep News Free campaign. We are the change. You are the change, for better or worse. Never do nothing. Stay connected. Stay online.